So you came in and you were really, you were kind of a mess.
Yes, I was.
You were very unsure of charging. You don't want to charge higher prices. You don't want to lose clients. You don't, and you were struggling with like, I've been in business for several years and I have not been able to be as successful as other people are.
Yes. Yeah.
So I would love to know like why you came in to becoming a legacy builder, what you got out of it, and then where you are today. And it's been a minute since we've talked. It
has.
I think it's been 2 years since we've worked together.
It has. Yes. 2 years. So one of the reasons why I joined this was because even though I had, prior to working with you, been working on my mindset around money, I still saw gaps. And as a believer, I knew that there was a link back to confusion around the biblical messages about money that I felt like was part of that disconnect for me in my mind. And so connecting with you and starting in the program was just immensely beneficial because you spoke to those misinterpretations of scripture that I had been taught or told or heard, or I, misconstrued at some point in my life, that was leading me down a path of, just not living true to what God had designed me for. And so having scripture laid out in a way that was reflecting, God's intention and truth around money was just such a huge shift for me. And other questions. I forget what you asked.
Well, tell us tangibly what that shift looked like for you.
Well, it's been 2 years, so don't even remember. I guess, again, some of the big issues that I had before coming and working with you were fear around overcharging. And here I am. I'm a doctor, and the service that I provide has great value to people's lives and can cause incredible changes in their life and their health. And I felt like I couldn't charge what I felt like I was worth because I wanted to help as many people as I possibly could. And how could they pay that? So again, prior to working with you, I had begun the journey of working on that. But since going through the program, I now don't have issues with. Every once in a while, it's like, well, what's the best thing to charge for this particular program or whatever. But it's not a fear of spitting out the words or saying, this is what you need, this is how I can help, and this is how much it costs. And then just leaving it there. So that has been a really big shift. To explain to everybody else in the group, I'm a chiropractor. And so when I opened my own practice, about 8 years ago, I started out in a model of chiropractic that is almost like a gym membership. So you pay a flat fee and you come in as often as you need in a month. Well, that works really well for a gym membership, but in my profession, it was requiring me to overwork myself to make myself successful in that model. And I just felt like that's not where my heart was at, where God wanted me to be at, what my family needed. And so raising my prices definitely was the path that I needed to be on. And working with Charissa helped me to get to a place in my mindset where I felt comfortable doing that.
And not only did you feel comfortable doing it, I remember we went through a couple weeks. And then you're like, I got 3 more clients and they pay the higher price service. They joined the long-term care plan. The next week it was 4 more clients. I mean, I don't remember the numbers, but it was like all of a sudden you got all these clients saying, yes, I want to do that, because you truly served them with what they needed. And then you just kept bringing in more clients. But here's the point I want you all to hear is she didn't change anything about her marketing plan.
Absolutely nothing. In fact, I'm probably like not the greatest. I mean, I do post to social media, but I don't do any paid advertising. I do a little bit of networking, but I'm not crazy about, tons of networking. So I'm not like and I don't have big signage on my building even. So it's kind of like, here I am, this little hidden, gem of a chiropractic practice. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just God brings the people to me that need me, and I get to serve them, which is exciting.
And so after the last couple of years, I know you not only have raised your prices and are serving people at that level, but you also started doing a couple different things like the coaching and the teaching, which was really your passion. And so tell me just a little bit about that.
Yeah. I feel like, again, just opening myself up to where God is leading me next. And now that all of those mindset barriers in the past, it has been easier for me to step into those new things, opportunities. God brings opportunities to me without me even seeking after them necessarily. So that has just been like additional branches of my business that allow me to serve to a greater capacity than what I was doing before.
And so after 2 years, and you guys, I haven't talked to her in a while, so I have no idea what she's going to say. I know you were not always paying yourself when you first started working with me. You don't have to share specific numbers, but tell me, like, how is that for you? Are you making more money? I mean, I am nosy about money, but like.
Yes. Yes. So I am consistently paying myself. I would like to pay myself more, but I am paying myself. I don't have stress around the bills for the business, because when I started working with Charissa, it was like, I'm not sure how I'm going to pay everything this month. And now I'm to a place where, because of Charissa's amazing spreadsheet that she
the business financial abundance plan is what she's talking about.
Yes. Sorry, I forget what it was called. I've been able to take my irregular income, because it's very irregular as far as to the business, and set monies aside for my annual expenses or quarterly or things like that. And I have basically, I'm not, like day to day in paying my bills. I have a month in advance at least, plus the annual expenses that I set aside. And so on the 1st of the month or the 31st, I basically go through, I make my transfers, and I pay all of the bills that I don't have on auto debit. And then I don't have to think about it. So there's no stress in my life around money, finances for my business. And my personal life is not quite that way because we're just not to that point with our income, with my husband's income and my income combined. But also, that being said, very like I don't have stress around, oh my gosh, like I don't hate paying bills. There's no stress around it. I just do it because it's part of running my business and living my life. And that was one of the things that I absolutely love and still continue to use to this day.
Well, and thank you for that. We're going to see that in just a little bit, a little taste of it. But the biggest key that you have said all of this successes relates to one thing, and that is applying scripture to your money mindsets.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say about somebody who's like, well, I have all these mindset struggles, I love scripture, but what would you say to them?
Really lean into it and allow it to just like, I don't even know the right word right now, pierce your heart. Because I feel like, I grew up in a Christian home and I've, heard many of the scriptures that Charissa uses in the program, but some of them were like just fresh eyes on this scripture that was just God peeling back the scales and, like basically saying, this is how I want you to view money. And it was super powerful for me.
Well, and thank you. You guys, is Dr. Brooke amazing or what? Well, give her some love in the chat because I know you do have to go. And thank you so much for taking some time out of your day for us. I really appreciate that. You guys, I'm sure we're going to get a flood of comments. Okay, thank you so much. Amazing. Okay, so to see some of that love giving to you. And again, thank you, Dr. Brooke. I'm so excited to see how well you're doing. And thank you for being here. So
thank you so much for having me.